No.
So there's something I wanted to tell you that I
Oh,
saved, and it's called Hofstadter's Law.
okay.
And so Douglas Hofstadter was this um, mathematician back in the day, and he wrote a bunch of like interesting books
Mm.
about how our consciousness is like a loop and everything. But anyways, the reason I bring it up is because he has this thing called Hofstadter's Law, and it's anything worthwhile will take an extremely long amount of time, more than you'll ever think, even if you assume Hofstadter's law is taking place. So everything you do is always going to take longer than you think.
Hey man, you got well, I guess I got the podcast, I got the recording. But bro, just doing my business in general, I'm realizing like I'm realizing that through experience. I'm like, why did a 5 second clip like this is literally happened? A 5 second clip I post on Instagram or TikTok takes 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
People don't realize that scrolling through. And I think about that when I'm scrolling. I'm like, how many hours did this take?
and that's why I told you right before we started that quitting your job is actually like the best advice I think. Well, I would give someone.
Wow.
Okay, I mean, unless like I said,
I thought I was a crazy person.
no,
I thought I
unless
was a
you're broke and
lunatic.
you can't like eat, then
Right,
and live in a house.
right.
I think like for me as a poker player, everything fell into place when I quit my job and started just hyper focusing on the one thing, which is poker for me. And I think like once you start doing this more and more and you're focused on this and you don't have to train or you don't have to do whatever, I think that will be you'll see.
How long ago was that?
Well, I quit my job in uh, like 2020 or 2019,
Wow.
but
Okay.
um I've been on and off with poker for like since 2012 basically. I was just trying to figure that out, trying to do both at the same time, like have a real job and try to figure out poker. I wasn't sure if I even wanted to if anyone should, go full time in poker. So I yeah, but this latest like run, it's been like from 2019. And honestly, the stimulus checks and stuff really helped poker. Not just from me, but like there's a lot of people who shouldn't have had money
Uh-huh.
that had money and
Right.
were coming to like all the games around town, I mean anywhere around the country,
Hilarious.
and just dumping their money.
Hilarious. There we go.
And every poker player that I know that started around COVID, uh, they always say that that was the best time to like get into it.
I mean, I guess you got free money that you didn't earn, and
Yeah,
you got a bunch of time to learn something new. Yeah, it makes sense.
and
Yeah, I agree.
I think like I I think like the best advice I could have for someone is if you're trying to do something, you need to like fully plunge into it and not worry about living comfortably in some nice place.
Mm.
If you want a nice house and a nice car, then like I said, move to New York and do something like that. But if you want to do something with your life, you have to just do that. You know?
Right. Simple advice, right? Yeah, you just gotta go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, I guess you understand exactly the where I'm at in life right now. It seems like you got past that phase.
It's always there behind you a little bit. There's always this worry that
Right.
you haven't made it yet, or believe me, it's always a work in progress, man. You have to
Yeah.
enjoy the journey.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And going back to the beginning, what was the law you brought up?
It's his name is Hofstadter,
Hofstadter.
Douglas Hofstadter.
Okay.
Yeah, I never really read any of his books. His books are notoriously very difficult. They're more science and
Okay.
technology and psychology.
I'm gonna look
And
into them.
oh, you should. I mean,
Um,
just the stuff I've read about him.
yeah.
I mean, the guy's like an absolute genius. So he's
No,
famous in the science world.
I've been thinking about that with everything I'm doing. Like, I'm gonna start a podcast and then getting into it. I think this is why people quit things, I'm assuming, is they realize something easy is actually extremely difficult, making content or just everything. Like, you're into coaching too, like so much time. So I always tell myself not to get mad and not to put even deadlines. I think that's why I don't like deadlines in general, because I realize that in general. It's just like things always take longer than than they should have.
Yeah,
But
and
that's I'm looking into that. That's huge in
also
productivity.
there's these different levels of learning, which I'm sure you've probably
Go ahead.
well, it's like when you first start, it's called uncompetent comp unknown incompetence, I think it is. You don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
When you first start. There's a whole thing about it. I don't even know. It's pretty famous in learning. Then you get to a point where when you start learning a little bit about whatever you're doing, you realize, oh my God, there's so much to learn. And a lot of people quit then
Yeah.
because they're like, oh,
Got the
I'll
realization.
never get there. I'll never
Right.
be a master of whatever it is, you know.
Mm.
And then there's other levels to it, you know. And then, you you just have to keep with it. I think that's the other thing that like I would say is you just have to stick with it. Like if it's podcasting, just keep doing it. So, you know.
And that's what I realized. Every podcast I do, I get better and better. I'm seeing improvement on it. I mean, just not just the technology and stuff we're talking on in the beginning, but obviously the speaking, how you conversate
Mhm.
or converse.
Whatever, I don't know.
Someone corrected me that yesterday, so
Really?
I'm trying to remember it.
You know, I actually studied English in
Mm.
college, but I little things like that, I don't even who cares?
Yeah, maybe I'm just around a bunch of grammar Nazis, but like,
Being a grammar Nazi is not cool. And this is coming from I was getting my master's in English actually like a
okay,
few years ago. Being a grammar Nazi is not cool.
no,
And I was
no.
hanging out with professors who know everything about language, and they don't really care either. Maybe a few of them, you know.
Well, I mean, you still get the message across. You understand what the person's saying. The only reason why you correct someone's grammar or how they say something is because you're just being an asshole. You're
Yeah,
just trying to look like that you actually know shit.
yeah.
And it would be different if it was like, I don't know, like for example, I'm trying to get better, trying to improve my Albanian. If an Albanian person says I said something wrong, I'm gonna take that as criticism. In a way, they're kind of being an asshole too.
Yeah.
But like, I do want to get better at Albanian and podcasting because technically English is my second language. So I wouldn't say I'm the best at English, but since I've been doing talk on camera, podcast, my English has improved.
Have you ever do you use what do you use to learn Albanian?
What I use?
Like, do you use apps or or you
Oh
just
man,
speak with your family members?
well, this is a whole nother subject because I'm going to like language learning. Actually, a lot of people that are grammar Nazis would tell me the same thing, like you shouldn't be learning any other language other than English. But
No, I don't believe in that. I think if you
I know.
can learn multiple languages, do it, you know?
Well, I mean, like I tell people learning what I realized my journey on it because again, you don't know what you don't know. That's how I started in the
Yeah.
beginning. And I'm like, yeah, how do you learn a language? Now I'm kind of at the point. Hell, learning a language is so damn easy. I really believe
You
it's
think
easy.
so?
Yes, yes.
I think it's hard, man.
Yeah. Right now, we're getting better at English.
You think?
I tell my
I think we've stagnated. Not we, but people who have been speaking for, I don't know, their whole life. It's like, how could I get better? Like, I don't know.
well, one thing I will say is how I improved my English is recording like social media. I have to watch myself speak over and over again. You saw me do that beforehand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just watch them, like I say it like that, or no, I should have said it like this. So I noticed that helped me. But there's one little thing because I want to do that in Albanian too. Just speak Albanian in front of the camera and then see it, and then okay, well, let me get better at it. Maybe even make content in
Yeah,
Albanian.
I think hearing
Yeah,
yourself would help with like the accent and
yeah.
all that stuff. I did 100 days straight of Italian. Like I just did it on Duolingo. Like
Okay, nice.
I stopped like a month ago. And even though 100 days might sound like a lot, it's not much if you're only doing 5 or 10 minutes a day.
All right.
I think Duolingo kind of sucks low key.
It does suck because it's like gamified, like because I use it a lot. I'm gonna say it's one way to learn, and if you like to learn that way, learn that way. Yeah, this is so nuanced because people don't realize, like, yeah. See, I love how I brought this up though, but language learning is huge because in our culture we just pick it up. I mean, that's anyone.
Yeah,
You just pick it up. But now you need to break down the language and actually learn it. It's a whole nother field. I mean, you're an English major, right? Right?
yeah, yeah,
Correct?
yeah.
Okay, you already know that part. But I'm kind of at the point. I'm like, bro, like, I got a Greek friend. We were playing Tavoli. Do you know the name
No.
game? Backgammon.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess that's what it is in Greek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know the name in English. Backgammon.
Yeah, I
I
love
just
that
learned
game.
it.
The game's sweet.
It's called Tavli, I believe, in Albanian too. But yeah, we're playing that, and my friend's like, and since it's about numbers and stuff, he's teaching me numbers,
Oh, that's cool. So
playing
you're
the
learning
game.
both. Like
Yeah,
you're learning multiple things at once.
yeah, and like that's how you learn a language. And I'm like, we just have to like agree we're not speaking English right now. Or like, for example, we want to start speaking Italian with you on the podcast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just got to speak Italian and then figure it out. And obviously, we're at different levels. But like, because I'm planning a trip to Albania.
If you would get immersed
So,
into it,
yeah,
then it'd be easier.
you just gotta bullshit. Like, like my first, I tried to teach some of my friends Albanian. We just started cuss words. No,
Of
but like
course,
they
yeah.
start picking it up and they're like, how do you say you? How do I say I? And
Yeah.
they start filling it in. Because language should be fun. You know what I'm saying? Just like why do we go to coffee shops? Why do we go to like maybe a cigar shop? Maybe at a bar, you're speaking to people. You're not there just like,
My problem was though, like learning a language that wasn't English is being an American. It just seemed like there was no use. Like, sadly, like
Mhm.
when am I gonna really need Italian or Spanish or Albanian or whatever it is? That's the problem with America. I mean, why would I ever need another language? And sadly, because I want to learn a different language, but at the same time, just doesn't. I couldn't use it outside, so I just stopped.
Mhm. Well, I mean, if you go to Italy.
Yeah, I know, and I want to, but
Mhm.
just it was just hard to keep with it every day. Learning like this much a day, like you learn, it was just so hard.
Well,
You know?
I'll say this. The reason why there's friction behind that, because if you want to make any money in the world, you got to learn English. Who
Yeah,
has the most money in the world?
United
English
States.
speakers.
Yeah,
Anybody that speaks English has money.
but the good thing is we already know it. I mean, we're from America, so
Right.
we know.
That's why we're like, we don't need to learn anybody's language
I know.
because I can't make money in your
It's
language.
part of that American sort of exceptionalism that we think we're the only ones that matter.
Hmm.
But at the same time, English is so ubiquitous around the world that I don't know.
Obviously, it's different. Like Europe is smaller than the United States. You go 50 miles, everyone speaks a different language. So I get what you're saying right there. But like what kind of throws me off is we're in a melting pot, right? I thought this is a diverse country. Everyone should be learning a million languages. And actually, I would actually say we should start learning Spanish. I
Yeah,
mean, you know how many immigrants are here from
I
Mexico?
know.
And I've been to California, and I'm not talking about the illegals. I'm talking about people that were here. Like my friend in California I visited when I was like 21. Bro, if you kidnap me, put me in the back of a trunk, went to California, drop me off in a San Bernardino, right Colton, right on the border of Los Angeles. So it's not a bad area.
I've been there. I've been
Okay.
close to it. Yeah, in
Well,
LA, my brother used to live there.
everything is written in Spanish.
Oh, I know.
All there is Mexicans everywhere. No one speaking English. And I remember walking around this neighborhood. I'm like, am I really in the United States,
Well,
bro?
I'm pretty sure the United States technically doesn't have an official language. I mean, we all speak English, but by law, I don't think there's a law that you have to put English.
Hmm.
You know,
Okay.
like we don't have an official language, is what I'm trying to say.
No,
Whatever that means.
I thought
I don't even know what that means.
I actually thought they did. Like, I don't know. I saw Trump actually. No, no, there was a
Trump
post.
probably wants to do it.
No, I think he actually did it in office. He's like, the official language is English, and then the joke was like, was it not English? Like, what was it before? Like,
Well, so to bring this a little bit to poker because it's funny because
yeah,
I always think about language when I'm learning language when I'm teaching poker and stuff is part of the reason another reason I had a really hard time uh, learning Italian was I couldn't use it in such a way where you how do I say this? There's so much memorization in
yeah,
in language. Like if I need to learn a new verb, I just have to know the verb. You just have to
right,
tell me the verb,
yeah,
and then I have to memorize it. Where in a game, when you're learning a game or a sport, and you know this from fighting MMA and
yeah,
stuff, um, if you don't know a certain technique, let's say in boxing, you could almost use your past knowledge to figure out the next move. It's the same thing with poker.
okay,
You can use your past knowledge of whatever it is. It's kind of hard to explain in poker, but to figure out a spot maybe that you don't know well. So you don't have to memorize that. But in language, it's like all memorization to me. And that's why I was like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. You know what I mean? Do you get sort of what I'm saying? Bringing up
Hey,
the fighting and
no,
stuff.
hey, don't quit. I could tell I'm ahead of you. No, I could tell I'm ahead of you because that's a phase. I'm dead serious.
It's
That's a
just like what
phase.
we were saying before when
Yeah,
you're learning.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm
I
telling
got to that part where I'm like, I don't know anything. I
you're
want to quit. You know what I mean? Just like,
right,
yeah.
right. No, you're doing great. I mean, yeah, of course there's memorization. I mean, I would say I still do that in English on some things. You know what I'm saying? But like, no, you're definitely getting there. And again, there's multiple ways to learn a language. So like Duolingo, like on that, in a classroom. Like I took 4 years of Spanish, and I realized I'm not gonna say it didn't help me how I thought it would help me. It definitely still helped me, but it was not the best way to learn language. So then it got me thinking, what is the best way to learn language? Because we're programmed with school. You know what I'm saying? We're indoctrinated
Certain,
basically.
yeah, way of
It's like
trying to think, or they want us to
the
think.
only way you could learn is pencil and paper and with a lecturer. And to be honest, I actually like doing that. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That what the Socratic method, like, that's basically what it is. Like Socrates back in the day, like one person talking, everyone sitting
yeah.
around, maybe taking notes, just listening. That's a great way to learn.
But there's all these different
There's
ways.
a million ways to learn. And that's like through games that we brought up. I mean, anything. I mean, if we're using a language, just use the damn language. Just use it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how you learn. Just use it.
Okay. Do you want to hear another